Because what this means is that the key problem of fear is that it's a knee-jerk unconscious reaction. You're constantly reacting to fear without knowing why or what it is. See? And so to really get far in this work, what you need to do is to start to notice those moments where you are in fear. And instead of reacting unconsciously the way that you usually do, the way you have been for 20, 30, 40 years of your life, now you've got to pause, you've got to feel the fear mindfully, consciously, and now you have to wonder, okay, what is this thing? Where is it located in my body? Why is it here? Where did it come from? What function is it serving? Yada, yada, yada. That's hard to do when you're in a bind, because usually the fear only comes up when you're in a bind. You don't have fear when you're sitting there enjoying yourself, watching TV, eating a good meal. You don't have fear. You only have fear when you're in a dangerous situation, like rent is due tomorrow and your landlord is about to kick you out and you're terrified because you don't have enough money to make this month's rent. The fear seizes you, it grips you like a python. See, it starts to strangle you. And at that situation, you're going to argue with me and you say, well, Leo, but sure, you want me to just kind of sit there and analyze my fear and practice this mindfulness horse shit and act like this hippie new age person, but I got to pay my bills. How am I going to pay my bills? I need to pay my bills. It's a matter of life and death. Exactly. Exactly. That doesn't contradict what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. But nevertheless, if you want to transcend fear and outgrow your fear and start to live a life beyond fear, you're going to have to change how you react to fear. You're going to have to create a sort of a gap, a little breathing room between your fear and your reaction, and you're going to have to start to feel the fear before you react to it. And that's a very counterintuitive move, because when you're in a dangerous situation, every cell in your body is going to want to react to get you out of the danger and to minimize the fear. That's how fear works. Fear is like this thing that spikes up in you, this unpleasant feeling, this sort of jittery, unpleasant nervousness, and then you act in some way to get out of harm's way, and then it subsides, and then you're cool, and then you're glad that it's over, and you don't even want to think about it again. But see, once you're out of the fear, you can't be mindful of it anymore. That's the problem. See, when you're trying to be mindful of old fears, it doesn't work quite well. You can do it, but it doesn't really work quite well, because the whole key here is to teach yourself to be mindful of fear as it's happening to you. That's the real power. The real power is precisely the power of there being a bear hurling towards you, and you're able to stand there calmly and not let that nervousness totally dominate you and get you acting in completely unconscious ways. It's the ability to be conscious, to act consciously, to respond consciously, even when you're in grave danger. That's the real power that we're trying to develop here. Now, fortunately, you don't need to actually go and, put yourself into serious danger by confronting a bear or a shark or a snake or something like that. Most of the fears that you experience on a daily basis are relatively minor, and you can create some space. You don't need to just be constantly reacting to them. You can create some space for yourself, and you can analyze them a bit, and you can practice mindfulness on them. All right. So don't make the mistake of thinking that I'm advocating some sort of really hyper dangerous thing here. Obviously, you don't want to be practicing what I'm saying, like when you're confronted with a bear. Start with small stuff that's not going to injure you, and then you can move to bigger stuff. And then eventually you can actually get to the point where you can practice it with a bear, but that's advanced stuff that you shouldn't practice right now.